Subscribe to Film Companion for your film fix. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.
A lot of people think I have my foot in the mouth all the time, but I feel like that's more, I think that's way more, I feel like I'm, it's okay. That's who I am. And I don't care about what people say about me anymore. People are going to be afraid. People are going to be scared. Life as we know it has completely changed.
So, yes, we are now recording. This is all new for me. But hi, Sonam, you are looking amazing.
Yeah, I've been taking care of myself. So yeah.
For somebody in self-isolation, I know it's self-imposed social distancing, which you sort of went into as soon as you came back from London, right?
Yes. So basically, I knew this was going to go down, honestly. Since January onwards, I've been like extra careful about certain things like sanitization and staying home as much as possible, not going out to many things. And like people were like thinking I was crazy. In fact, there was an article recently about me in Midday or Mumbai Mirror or something, where apparently there was a journalist who was right next to me, and she was like, I thought Sonam was nuts, like, because she sanitized her whole chair and she was like sitting with gloves and masks on and thing. But I, like, because I was reading the world news and stuff like that, and like I was supposed to go to Italy and France and stuff for Fashion Week, for the Fashion Ready to week, and I canceled them last minute. I just didn't go. I was just like, I don't know if traveling is something that I should be doing right now, because I know the kind of travel people do in and out of Asia and the Middle East and like Europe and stuff like that. So I stayed put in London, and I decided to come back to India actually right before the travel ban was imposed, just because my parents, my father will hate to say this, but he's 63 years old. My mom's 63 as well. And, my in-laws are, my Anand we all stay with our Anand's grandmother, Amma. She's in her mid-80s, maybe late 80s. We don't really know, they don't have their age stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah. There was nobody actually in my husband's house, just in case something happened, to actually be there to kind of take care of everything. So Anand and I were like, I think it's a responsible thing to fly back, even though we were so afraid to get on a flight, because flights are where most infections, I think, happen. Because I don't know, I just find flying a little like scary. We got onto the flight, and Anand and I were like, if the airport authorities ask us to go into quarantine, we will, because that's the responsible thing to do. So we went through the whole process. When we reached Delhi airport, we got a flight. As soon as in fact, in London, nothing was happening because they were trying to do something called herd immunity, which was also ridiculous. That's why we were even more scared that we've got the coronavirus. And as young people, I don't think a lot of them are asymptomatic.
Yeah,
exactly. So we got onto the flight. The air hostesses and everyone, who, even though they were so scared, they weren't given protective clothing or gloves or anything. They were very scared, honestly, the airline, the stewardess. And I felt really bad for them. But they had to do their duty. They have to work. And we got out of the flight in Delhi. Everybody was covered in like masks and gloves. The airport authorities, I have to tell you, it takes a lot of courage to be standing there and checking everybody.
Yeah.
They checked all of us from the BA flight for temperature. There were temperature checks that were taken. Anand, me, and my spot boy Sujit, we were all fine. Our temperature was below normal. Not below normal, but below abnormal. We were we were like 98 or whatever. But there were a couple of people who were told to stand separately. We don't know where they went, but we were asked to fill out a form of our last travel. Now, because I had cancelled all my travel, Anu, I was actually exempt from that, which was, I'm so glad that I had the foresight to do that.
Correct.
So we have a guest, like an outhouse in our house, which we are very lucky to have. And not like a small, like our own bedroom where Anand and I are. We didn't quarantine ourselves, but we quarantined ourselves in the outhouse.
I saw a very sweet video of you waving to your mother-in-law.
I know. I was like, I was just so happy to see them. And, till Sunday or Monday, I don't think in India we realized the gravity of the situation, even though Mr. Modi had given the speech saying that, don't play Holi or stay at home. There were a lot of Holi parties happening, and there were a lot of people meeting everybody. And I don't think like my parents or my in-laws understood the gravity of the situation. They were still going out and
Yeah.
still like living the regular life. They're not on social media as much. They're not watching TV as much. They don't like, or even if they are watching television, they're not seeing, I don't think the news is completely transparent, or objective. So they're not understanding the gravity of the situation. And so I'm so glad we came back, because like, they didn't know that the staff wasn't supposed to come home and stuff like that. These people were still coming home, and like all those things. So all those things were stopped. So I'm glad I came back. And I don't think a lot of older people, like I've been speaking to my friends, like the grandparents or the older parents, are still not understanding the situation. They can't understand why they can't go out.
Absolutely. Same with mine. I mean, it's just impossible to explain that. No, just stay put.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I get it. Why they don't understand it, but it's our duty to kind of make sure that they stay home, because actually this is more harmful to them.
Yeah.
It's a very serious conversation.
You've been very active on social media. I remember last time we met, maybe in Cannes or somewhere, where we talked about how you took a break from Twitter because you said it just became too toxic. And I see you very active now. You're sort of, you're pushing out the right stuff. You're rallying behind people who are really on the front lines of this. Is it hard for you right now to kind of use this massive sort of, platform that you have personally?
I feel like this is the time to do it. I feel like if it's any, this is the time, to kind of speak for the people who don't have a voice, and to support people who are going out there and kind of, sticking their necks out and speaking like loud and clear. I just feel like that's the important thing to do right now. A lot of people think I have my foot in the mouth all the time, but I feel like that's more, I think that's way more. I feel like I'm. It's okay. That's who I am, and I don't care about what people say about me anymore, because I have a platform and I have a voice, and it is my duty. I feel like it's my duty to use it whenever I can, and I hope that gives other people courage to do the same thing. So yeah, I mean, recently there was I feel there's a lot of stigma attached to getting the virus. And shaming somebody who has it, or kind of ostracizing that person, is not going to let other people come out and say that they have the virus, and kind of warn people that they do. I think there should be more, like I said, like on social media, I was like, empathy is the need of the hour.
Absolutely.
Not harsh criticism and demonizing that person and saying that you did this and you did that. Everybody makes mistakes, and I know that this is like dangerous, but I'm telling you, till a week ago, I know nobody knew that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
People were, we were all kind of, living our lives. We were still going to, like in London, I was still going to the grocery store and picking up my groceries. My housekeeper was still coming in and, like thrice a week and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I just feel like that's not fair to do. I feel like you need to.
Why you posted the tweet about Kanika? Because you felt
Yes.
that it was just unfair?
Yeah, I mean, not that I'm like, I know that it's irresponsible, especially when you're educated and you have, you have a background where you're living with your old parents or your grandparent or whatever, that you need to be more responsible. So yeah, I agree where people are critical of that, but I don't agree in kind of, I think Swaddle is a really nice online platform that I follow. And they basically had a really nice article about why it's wrong to demonize people who have that, especially after, especially initially in the initial days, where they went out, they didn't understand. And then at least Kanika, I mean, I don't know her at all from Adam, but I just feel like she did try to get herself tested, right? And the fact that she did get herself tested because she understood the implications of it eventually. So I'm not supporting the fact that she went out there for parties, because
Yeah,
I
you're not
didn't.
supporting irresponsible behavior.
Responsible behavior, but I'm just saying that don't demonize a person, because the next person who has it and who is more, is more public or is not public with the fact that they have it, might harm somebody else just because of the stigma attached and the kind of negativity in the press that they have. I think there's a certain way to kind of, like, for example, this chef who passed away, he put a post saying that he had the virus, and for obviously because of the kind of trolling and the fear and the stress that people went through, he pulled down his post, and then he put up another post, saying that I'm really sorry I posted it. And his last post is him apologizing for being sick.
Yeah.
And that is that is one of the saddest thing. And he was incredible chef and incredibly talented. And
Floyd.
Yeah, and I just feel like, why? Because I understand your business might be harmed and all of these things, but he first did the responsible thing, and then after, because of the kind of stigma and negativity attached to it, he was made to pull the post down. And I feel so bad that when I went on his, like, I follow him, so when I went to his last post was him apologizing for being sick. For no fault of his. So it's nobody's fault, this illness is no one's fault. It's just what it is. So you just need to be a little more compassionate and empathetic at this point. I mean, to the best of your capacity and your ability.
Tell me, I know that you also posted about donating to the various funds that have been created for the daily wage earners within the film industry, and being supportive of that, because it's such a terrible thing for them, especially for them. Tell me, do you have any larger concerns? How do you think this is going to impact on the business in the long run?
Are you just talking about film, or are you talking about like
specifically about film?
About film?
Yeah.
So I am a silent partner in an agency that my manager runs, called Efficient, which is for makeup and hair and stylists. We call them, they're like, so we only make money when they make money, in terms of like, in that way. So we know for the next 2-3 months, there'll be no income coming in for them. Right? So what is the best that we can do to kind of take the pressure off them is basically not taking a percentage of the profit that they make, to whatever capacity that we can as a company, so that we don't go under. Paying the monthly salaries of the people who we've hired, without, whether they're working from home or they're not working, whatever. So those are the certain steps that we can take, but it's going to have a huge impact on the film industry. I feel, because we work in conditions that are not exactly sanitary. We work in conditions that are not exactly safe.
From a hygiene level, you're saying?
From a hygiene level and also safety level. I know, I've worked on a lot of small projects, small budget films, where we don't have like so people are going to be afraid. People are going to be scared. Life as we know it has completely changed.
Absolutely. I agree. I don't think it's going to be before Corona and after Corona. That's the new BC. Yeah.
So I think, obviously, now there are so many online platforms where you have like streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon, Hotstar, Z, Disney, etc. Like there are so many platforms where people were anyways migrating towards that. There were only these like big budget like films that were doing super well on like the commercial, very big budget films, but like films, the kind of films that I do, right, Ek Ladki, Zoya, etc., weren't really tracking so much. Even like till like 3 years ago, when like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when Ninja released, stuff like that. Like there's a completely different way of looking at things and going to the cinema. So I think that might take a hit. Even though I'm like dying to go into a movie theater and watch a film and not want to watch it on my laptop or my television, even though that's what I'm really dying to do. But I think things will change quite a bit. The first thing I did was speak to my sister about the environmental impact that we have as filmmakers, the kind of, you use plastic bottles, the kind of wastage that happens. And we were like, we need to hire a firm or hire somebody who can come and tell us how we can be more socially responsible, environmentally responsible when we're filmmaking.
Yeah.
And that was the first thing that I did. Even though I'm what so-called woke celebrity, I never even thought of that. But I thought about it now, because I was like, this is obviously nature telling us to calm down, So that was, I feel like there'll be a lot of positives that come out of it, but a lot of things that we actually love, like going to the movie theater, or, things like that might change, our crews might become smaller, things like that.
Tell me, how, Sonam, do you stay sort of creatively inspired, and kind of, how do you nourish your soul as an artist when you don't even know when the next shoot is going to be? I mean, is that difficult?
I want to do readings with my, readings, obviously I have a couple of films that were supposed to go on the floor.
Sujoy's is the next one, right? Blind?
Sujoy's one,
Yeah.
yes.
Huh.
Was supposed to go on floor. Shom's directing it. Sujoy's associate of several years. And, that was, I was super excited about it. We were supposed to start shooting for it in London. I hope that's still happening. They're saying that it's still happening.
Yeah.
I had a film with my sister. I was reading something which I was super excited about, which was for a social media platform, not social, a streaming platform.
How exciting. So you're considering that?
Yeah, I do. I was considering that before this whole thing happened, because it was brilliant. It was something really brilliant that was sent to me. A lot of amazing things that have come to me, and it was actually all there were a lot of exciting things that were happening in January for me. This amazing writer had sent me this script, and he's done some amazing work, and I can't speak about the kind of work he's done. And I was like, this is amazing. Is it possible for me to produce this? So things like that, there were some exciting things happening. So I'm still working on that. Fortunately for our production company, nothing was on the floors. Yeah. Fortunately for me as an actor, nothing was on the floor yet. Where my brand is concerned, Reason, Bhane, Veg Non-Veg, these are the three brands that we have. One with my sister, two with my husband, mostly just, that's where we suffered a little bit in terms of, the online platform is still available, but we can only send the clothes later on. All our people who are with us are working from home, so those things have suffered a little bit. But my father, my sister, and I, and my brother, we are all fortunate that our films are only going to go on floor second half of the year.
Tell me, what are you binging on?
Well, I'm reading. I watched the last Star Wars film, which came out. I hadn't seen that. I saw Bombshell, which I haven't seen. Which was I know that there's a lot of contrary. I really liked it. I thought it was really, really good. I thought it was really engaging and amazing. So I saw those two things. I've been watching a lot of reality stuff, documentary. I saw this really disturbing documentary about this child that had been beaten and murdered, and I would not recommend anybody watching that, especially at this time.
Not now. Yeah.
Not now. But I started watching House MD again just because of this coronavirus thing. So I started rewatching that.
Yeah.
But I would recommend not to watch too many series at this time. I would say watch films, because I feel like you need to keep a very strict regime when you're in quarantine. It just keeps you sane. I wake up at the same time every morning. I reply to all my emails and my messages and read something.
Yeah.
I have my hot water. I just keep a very strict regime, and then I have 2 hours or 3 hours in the evening which is not about reading, and not about working or reading my scripts or working on my voice or doing any of that. I watch stuff.
Right.
That's my pleasure, watching something on my laptop or my TV.
Okay, last question, Sonam. For people like you, who are always in the public eye, is there some sort of upside to this situation where you have time to yourself, where you're at home and you don't have to be out there being seen by people?
Well, Anu, I don't usually, I'm not like, if you know me, which you do, I'm not like a very cliquey person. I'm not like too involved in I'm friends with I have a lot of friends in the film industry, but I'm not a part of a gang,
Sure.
like gaggle of like things.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends are not like my closest friends besides Swara and Jackie, and some directors like Anand sir and Ram and stuff like that. I don't like I'm not like out and about in my gym look or my
Right.
or look or whatever. Like, I'm not that kind of person. So, I mean, I'm fine. I think there is the only upside is that I get to spend time with my husband a lot more than I would, because he is at home working as opposed to going out and working. Another one is that I'm not traveling. I'm usually traveling a lot.
Yeah.
I live between 3 cities, London, Mumbai, and Delhi. And then on top of that, I have traveled for work. So I travel a lot. And this is the first time in a long time where I'll be in one place. And that's nice. I don't get I didn't see my mom for her birthday, which made me super sad. And I haven't seen my dad or my sister or my brother like already for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So you add another 3 weeks to that, and it's the longest that I haven't seen my family. So that's sad. So I don't know if there's an upside besides me like taking care of my health and reading and like having time to myself. Because I think this is a time for self-reflection about how we treat our planet, how we treat each other, and how we should be more responsible about what we say on social media and what we do in our lives. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think we have to be positive and hope that there will be an end, and until then, just hang in there.
And we're all hanging in there. I'm grateful. I have a lot of gratitude.
Me too.
Yeah, about who we are, and we have food. Yeah. We have a shelter. We have shelter. We have an amazing life, and we have a lot of we don't have to think about we don't have to think about money. We don't have to think about these things. So I feel extremely privileged, and I feel extremely fortunate. And I think this attitude of gratitude is something that I will never take for granted again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I hear you. I feel exactly the same. Sonam, thank you. Thank you so much. And
Namaste.
Namaste and a big virtual hug. Take care. Thank you so much.